Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Holy shit.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I know that it's been a long break, much awaited for us to be back streaming. I was doing dad things. I was living dad life. Shout out to the missus and shit, But yo, we got an action-packed show for you guys. A lot has been happening around the league. We're getting ready for draft season. So much is going on. Coaching carousel. But first, we got to make sure that we take care of the sponsors. I'm rocking that LA thing today. By the way, fuck the guy whoever chopped off the Jackie Robinson statue, but rocking my Dodgers chain. Ladies and gentlemen, yo, GLD, you already know what it is. Link is down below. Let's go.
Hop out in Miami when no land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand it. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, go where you're not.
And we are back. Also want to shout our homies over at BigGuyFantasySports. Big guys doing big things. Big shout out to Bob Long. Super excited to see everybody in Canton, Ohio this year for the Fantasy Football Expo. Be sure you also get your tickets for that as well. BigGuysFantasySports.com. Link is down below. Get ready for the consistency guide. You're going to need that consistency guide in order to win your championships for this upcoming season. Whether that's Dynasty, whether that's Redraft, you already know that we got you. Also want to shout out the homies over at All 22, promo code Rumboyz. What it do? Take 40% off the subscription price. Challenge you and your friends, yourself and your friends in a 10 to 12-man league, building a full 53-man roster with the latest, greatest fantasy football platform that is All 22, powered by PFF. Link is down below in the description. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the cast and crew. Will the Chiefs in the crib? Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. What is up? Red Kingdom is here. Drop the mic, FF.
I just got two words for you. Casimo. Oh!
Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, after a long awaited break, we finally got him back, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for David Gillespie.
So glad to be back. Just figured I'd add a little less color to the show with my pasty ass. So,
hey, I'm not much better.
Back, I was going to say you both are fairly pasty there.
We're twinning. We're twinning today. That's what we're doing.
Twinning.
You got the rat tail. I got the beard. It's just
exactly.
It's
great combo.
Gosh.
Tag team performance.
Oh my gosh. You can say that we've been waiting for this stream for a week now. Leafs, I am sorry. But by the way, though, really quick, even though we did not stream the games last weekend, holy fuck.
Yeah.
We are still 100%. We are still 100%. I have not gotten a fucking playoff prediction wrong yet.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh my, yes, not Robbie trained to be a dad. Y'all may not know this, but actually already had a kid.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, but I was gonna let you know that part of it.
I was like, I had full cussing and everything, and then life happens where a judge says, "Hey, you're not the father," like on some worry shit, and it's like, whoa, yeah. And then that's when I became.
That's
I
legit.
I will make a concerted effort to ensure that Robbie never ends up on a Maury show, or it's not possible anymore, but a Maury-like show. Like, I will do everything in my power to make sure that never happens. Okay,
Bobby left me for dead, man. Your fault. We lost. Literally, there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the show that says, "Warning: it is not our fault," etc., etc., etc. That's first off.
We just got the cameras rolling. You know,
I never picked you guys to win in the fucking first place. So what were you gonna expect me to do on stream? Feel sorry for you for fucking getting your shit pushed in? No, play better football. Also, you can't stop Action Jackson. I'm sorry.
This is the same motherfucker that probably blames players for losing his fantasy team's season.
Wait, where are you going, CR?
That's amazing. He knows I'm joking. Greetings from the airport. Thanks for keeping me entertained. Waiting on my plane. You know we got you.
Where are you flying to? Where are you flying to, jackass?
Shit, fuck TSA, by the way, man. I got to fly out for Avenge Nerd's wedding in May. That's going to be I've never been to Minnesota.
Are you going to Texas, New York, or are you going to Sacramento?
Like,
those are my guesses.
Not the damn picks. You weren't going to win the game either way. I picked against y'all. I have powers. I know the script. I already know the script. Should have gave Keyshawn Boutte betting advice, and that's exactly what we are going to get into now. Oracle. Damn right, I'll blame players during fantasy. Fucking A.
See, he owns that shit. I fucking called it.
Cheers to me. God. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What a do, dilly.
Wait, hold on. CR, me and Robbie are both mad at you now. How dare you didn't tell me this? How dare you not tell me this information ahead of time? You saw me at work,
bro. Shit, I would love to chill with CR and go watch a game, man. If you would have told me in advance, I would have fucking bought tickets like a couple months ago and flew the fuck out. I'm so serious. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Keyshawn Boutte has been arrested for underage gambling, although now over the legal age now. That adds a little interesting twist to the story, right? Boutte is accused of creating a online betting account under a fake name and then placing more than 8,900 illegal bets. State Police of Louisiana said in a news release that at least 17 of the bets were on NCAA football games. 6 wagers were on LSU games. Thoughts on the situation? How do you feel? The social media comments section have set the story ablaze, and I love it. Mike, it is Boutte. It is Boutte.
Well,
another grown man Boutte.
Okay, I'm glad we're on YouTube, and I'm glad I'm not being regulated by the FCC from what I'm about to say. He likes losing bets as much as he likes trains. But the homeboy even bet on his overs.
Yeah, and lost his own overs.
Lost every one of the overs that he bet on.
Yo, if that's not proof that the sport's not rigged, how the fuck do you bet on yourself? Like, okay, if sports were rigged, if football was rigged, if there's a script, so to speak, to Mike's point, Mike, I love that you worded it in that manner. If there's a script, you would have fucking knew that you would have fucking got the goddamn yards. You would have known that you got to
bet the under. I would have bet the under.
Bro. Hell no. But you were saying, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I think that's hilarious. Do I think he's an absolute moron for using one of the account aliases that he used was like his actual last name with like 74724 or something?
Yeah, like the account was literally his fucking name.
Like, use other, what do you call it? Yes, he's a moron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is a bigger picture thing, and I know Robbie loves gambling, and I know we want it to be legal in all 50 states, and I get that.
But
there are reasons why there's age limits. There are reasons why you shouldn't be doing it on camera.
Password is perfect.
There are reasons why you need to be responsible when you're doing. If you have a problem, the number is what, Robbie?
1-800-GAMBLER.
Cashapp Boutte, get your booty out of the freaking New England Patriots locker room next time he places a bet. I know I'm just making a joke about Jameson Williams. But other than that, don't bet if you cannot be responsible about it. And if you're a player like this, come on.
8,900 underage bets is wild. When I immediately saw that, when I was reading the article, when I was reading the report, I was like, I never want to fucking know my own betting numbers.
I know.
I never, ever want to know that statistic. You know how long I've been fucking gambling?
But my question is,
that's not even counting. That's just like the legal gambling. That's not counting like me being with my friends and being like, I'll bet you $10 right now. LeBron's about to fucking like dunk this. And then like no.
So the last thing I want to say before I throw it over to David, and I'm going to pose a question up in the air, not just in general.
Okay.
Is how the fuck long was the government checking this mofo?
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like if y'all fucking knew and you knew that he was doing it underage, why did it take so long?
It took 2 years after the bets were made.
I feel like they wait until the money gets racked up, you know, and like a significant amount of money's placed before they ultimately go in and crash on the incident, you know, the government and all that stuff, or the authorities or whatever, you know. But
You're an authority.
Yeah.
I'm childish.
I look like a narc, is that what you're saying?
Fucking
no, but listen, I'm here's the thing I'm a little bit blown away by. This is the most like rinky-dink fucking bare bones operation he set up, like that one could possibly set up. He used his mama's fucking credit card for this for this like this operation. Like, you think he'd go a little deeper and like, you know, like
that's where the train joke came from, Leafs. That's why Mike made the train joke.
Oh, I don't want to.
That's exactly
spread any rumors now.
It was confirmed.
I'm gonna steer away from that one. But like, you think he would go to like his mama's like ex-boyfriend's cousin's illegitimate son and like set up an operation that way or something? There's some Ocean's 11 type of shit, you know. This guy's making $750K a year. You can spend the money on that and make a shit ton of money in the long run if he wants to bet on himself. But he didn't fucking do that. Like, this dude, he fucking gets a bona fide F for his effort and his execution.
Committing crimes.
On committing crimes. He is an F-graded fucking criminal if I've ever seen one. Not a bad wide receiver, but an F-graded fucking criminal, you know? You got to do it right, buddy. And there's a way to do it.
Teach you how to trap.
There's a way to do it, you know? So that's really what blows me away. But I know he bet on his own team, but we've seen Isaiah Rodgers do the same thing, and he got picked up by the Eagles, you know, when he was with the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think this is going to jeopardize his career at all.
No, I don't either. I just think it's funny. Not only did he bet on his team, he bet on himself on the overs and couldn't even get the fucking over.
Seriously.
David, to your point, and this is what pisses me off, honestly, about it. I'm going to keep it real. Why the fuck are our tax dollars going towards shit like this?
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me. And like, when I saw the amount of people in the comments are like, oh my gosh, like he's such a criminal. Like, this was like the worst thing ever. That's the part that really, really grinds my gears about this. Is like, it took y'all fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
The one, catch him. 2, this is what we're fucking concerned about. This Diddy is out here fucking making people sell their souls for record deals.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the other. There's another scandal that's I'm hearing about with TD Jakes and shit like that.
Yeah, bro.
You know,
exactly. Like, look, there's real shit happening. All right.
Like, oh my God.
The fuck? We got people fucking like, no.
Is this where our tax dollars are going to set up 2-year investigations for fucking betting on yourself during an NFL game? Like, oh, we got the mastermind. We nailed him, guys. Like, let's host a press conference. You know?
That's what literally, like, for real, I'm not even
pathetic.
trying to like you know? That's the part about this that really grinds my gears. Yeah. Bro.
Seriously.
So what? You sucked at betting. You should have watched Rumboyz. Come on the show, Keyshawn. I'm down to interview you and also teach you a few things. No. You know, but yeah, that for this to make waves and make national headlines. It's like, I don't know, can we fucking catch the person that created, I don't know, fentanyl? Like, can we catch that person? Can we lock that fucking person away? Like, where's the investigation for that? Like, can we lock up that person? Can we lock up, like, war criminals?
Speaking of criminals, Vince McMahon just resigned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's, oh, God.
Like, you know what?
That's some wild shit.
It better not take 2 years to find the fucker that cut down the Jackie Robinson statue in Kansas.
I mean, this motherfucker sounds like the Epstein of wrestling.
Dude, that was... Yeah. Dude, when I saw that the freaking statue went bye-bye, I was like, what the fuck? At a Little League field.
At a Little League field. And they
wait, he had a statue at a Little League field?
At the Jackie... It was like a Jackie Robinson, like...
With Jackie Robinson's name, I mean that's wild that we would put him in the same conversation as a legend like Jackie Robinson.
In the founding city of the Negro League.
Yep, someone fucking like they basically had to have like blowtorch with a fucking like sawzall and just went at the ankles like. Bro, when I saw that,
much cringe. There's so much cringe.
I've seen the one. I've seen the one at Dodger Stadium, and you're not going to walk away with that. No,
you're not. Yeah, you're not walking away with that. You're not walking away with that. Look, we have people building tunnels. I'm saying people. I'm not going to say what group of people. We have people building tunnels underneath fucking. Because look, that's a group that can fucking cancel you real quick. But we have people building tunnels underneath fucking New York City. And we have no idea what the fuck they're doing in those tunnels.
What?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
I know what you're talking about, Robbie. I know what you're talking
about.
You know
what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a certain community. I'm going to leave that, I'm not going to disclose the name of that community.
Yeah, I'm not saying the name, especially on YouTube. But a certain community, not black people, built tunnels underneath New York.
Yeah.
Like, this is like in Brooklyn. And like,
was their name Tacos?
Huh?
Was their name Tacos?
No. Like, look, I'll send you the story. David, send him the link.
No, I'm looking right now. I'm looking it up.
Look, just type in tunnels in New York.
That's what I'm like, I literally put building tunnel NYC.
He's going to go through like all races. So he's like black people building tunnels, Asian people building tunnels.
I only said tacos because he lives in freaking Long Island.
No, bro. Yeah. Look, I want to catch these type of fucking people. I want to know about shit like that.
I got
you. There we go.
He said, gotcha.
Now he's joined the party. There we go.
Look,
Jesus. I just saw the headline. That's all I needed to see.
Yeah. Look, Keyshawn Boudier, I'm bringing back the segment for this story. Booty, your booty at gambling.
Yeah, seriously. I was about to say.
Wait. Yeah. Keyshawn, I cannot wait to sit at a fucking blackjack table with you, my guy. I can't wait. I'll play sober the whole time.
Barbecue chicken, baby. Barbecue chicken.
Make sure it's in Atlanta.
It's fucking Underground Railroad 2024 remastered.
Oh God! Now we're getting into dangerous territory.
No, dangerous territory was the Canada hockey team comment.
He said little hat on the head. Oh my God!
Oh my God! That's what he meant. Oh my God! We are going to hell after this show. I know that, and we're only 20 minutes in. We're only 20 minutes in.
It's in, exactly. Look, I'm bringing this segment back. Keyshawn Boudier, you are the reason that the rum is always gone for this week. You are.
Luka got 70. Fuck no.
He was at 41 at half.
Oh my! I knew that. I did not know he got to 70. That's wild.
I think the game's still going on.
Wow. Whoa. Is he going to beat Kobe's record of 81? I mean, that's not the overall record.
It's not
still.
Record.
No, I know it's Wilt's.
Yeah, but he'll probably take down Kobe.
That's fucking wild.
That is fucking insane. I want to get into the next topic here. Coach Carousel. We got to talk about it. It's been a big fucking week in the National Football League in regards to some coaching hires. There's
232 left, David.
No, gotcha.
Okay, yeah, he won't break it. He won't break it.
Yeah.
There's 3 main hires that I really, really want to focus on. Obviously, the Chargers have landed Harbaugh. The Falcons have landed Raheem Morris. And Canales the least unexpected hire of all of this is Canales to the Carolina Panthers.
I'll take that one right away. I'll take that one right away.
What is your personal outlook on these three hires? Who finds success the fastest or gets the boot first? And also, what does this mean for each individual organization? Mike, you start. Or no, David, you start.
I'll let Mike go. It's fine. You wanted to go first, Mike. So
I just want to go on this Canales one because I thought this was the dumbest hire until today. I think this is the smartest hire. One of the smartest hires. Mm-hmm. Not smartest as in over the other two, but for this organization, I think it's smart. I did not realize that Canales was with, yes, he coached high school, called high school plays. Then he went and was the assistant strength coach somewhere, USC. Then he became a guy around USC, became friends with Pete Carroll, went to Seattle. At one point, he worked with them for 8 total years, multiple positions, quarterbacks coach, even though that's kind of weird, whatever, blah, 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 blah. What I didn't realize is Dan Morgan, who is the new Panthers GM, was with Seattle as a scout and vice president of pro personnel while Canales was there. Canales helped with Gino. Canales helped with Baker. They want this to work out for Bryce Young. As long as he brings in like a real mind to help him out and a real defensive guy. And yes, part of the reason I think
you're a dick for this. This comment is fucking unnecessary.
Yeah, it is. I get it. But we also do know that Tepper does want somebody that's not a big name. Like Vrabel, and I didn't think anyone like Vrabel or anybody like that was ever going to Carolina because Tepper doesn't want someone that
recycle.
Isn't good. Yeah, well, not even that. Tepper's going to want to be able to pull all the strings more than have. But the one that I think is absolutely ridiculous, I am sorry.
Asinine.
Raheem Morris.
Really?
After he was already an interim head coach.
He was their interim coach already right before they freaking hired Arthur Smith. If you really wanted him to be your head coach, what the didn't you do it then?
Yeah. It's not a good look, I think, you know?
I just don't think it's a defensive coach. I know Arthur was the offensive coordinator in Tennessee, but he sure didn't show that when he was the head coach of Atlanta. I think they needed an offensive-minded coach, you know, that could get the weapons, build around those three, figure out the quarterback situation. Maybe they can still do that. The other thing for Harbaugh, to me, this was a no-brainer. I thought this was going to happen. I thought there could have been a chance there was not LA, freaking Vegas. But I've been telling you off camera for the past month and a half. I thought he was going to, and David, you've heard me say it, and you're a Pac-12 guy because you're on the West Coast like me.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to pull a Pete Carroll from the very freaking beginning and leave right before gets more sanctions. And there is no better evidence of that than 2 weeks before you leave to go to the Chargers that you asked the NCAA for immunity and get it denied.
Yep.
And when you get immunity denied, you say adios. Why? Because you know something's up if you're saying, I want immunity. You're not going to the NCAA. Yes, they're stupid. Yes,
you
they're
burn up that
dumbasses.
like button, everybody hit that like.
But there's no way to me that he was going back to college. He was leaving. I'm kind of surprised I'm not surprised that he went to Chargers, but he does like California, so it doesn't surprise me there. And good for Michigan. I'm giving Michigan credit for hiring Morris as their head coach today. He deserved that job.
Yeah.
But overall for the Chargers, I think Chargers is the best hire. Falcons is the worst hire. Canales is the second best hire of these three.
Yeah, for me, you know, this is goddamn. This is
really quick. You said the Falcons made a strong push for Bill just to have that man left on red.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zach in the chat. Was good. Yes, Shanahan has been the more successful one out of all of them.
Shanahan and McVay.
Yeah,
Yeah. This head coaching, so goddamn, it has been so fascinating.
And not over.
And not over, exactly, and not over. We
No.
still got some, potential vacancies. I mean, the Commanders, I know we're nearing that, but Seattle hasn't decided either.
Commanders, I can't say what I know about the Commanders. Let's just say that I already know.
Oh yeah, we're getting some clues, some context clues, courtesy of Boomer Esiason.
No, like I already know.
Oh,
like
really?
I already know.
He has insider.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
But no one's allowed. Like even on our platform, like would it make great content for me to go ahead and fucking spoil it? Yes. Like I literally. So funny that you bring that up, David. And I love that you brought that up, man. Made a post and was told to immediately delete it because there's rules, there's regulations about announcing it. Let's just say that it'll be announced after this week, possibly.
Well,
chat this week.
Chat, if you guys want to do me a favor and see if we can bribe the hell out of Robbie through the super chat contributions, like let's see what we can do here. You know, just
get me drunk enough, and then it may
exactly. Happen. Well, that's inevitable. You know,
that's a given.
Exactly.
It's Friday night.
It has been a fascinating head coaching carousel. So I've never seen anything like this. Like I love what I'm seeing in terms of the candidates that are being interviewed, that are being considered. I'm dead serious when I say this. I can't think of one hire that I hate thus far. I can't think of one hire that I hate. Honestly,
I can.
The worst is probably Brian Callahan going to the Titans, considering the talent that was at his disposal. But you know what? I mean, this could be. Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
I think that the Titans got set back. The Titans end up set back. The Titans are already going to be set back because of personnel issues.
That's a puppet. That's a puppet hire.
But
exactly. It's a puppet hire.
But look at what he's done with Jake Browning this year, which we saw some great things come out of that. And Joe Mixon ended up having a solid year. Now, I know, it's a person. We went on him on this pot where Robbie definitely has at least.
No, but was my point, my issue with that hire is I'm almost positive, even though he's the OC, he's not calling the plays.
Exactly.
Dave Canales is?
No, Callahan.
Or I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. What am I saying? I don't know why I said
Taylor's calling the plays.
Okay. I see. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting because we don't know what his foundation he's going to be trying to build within the Tennessee organization and all of that. But that was the one that I had the biggest question marks on. And only time will tell, because I did think he did some good things this year with Cincinnati in that offense, considering the adversity he had to overcome, honestly. But between these three hires, though, my favorite unanimously is Jim Harbaugh. I mean, I was chomping at the fucking bit for my Bears to fire Matt Eberflus and hire him, but we're gonna third wheel this shit like we always do, like my background indicates, and just let someone else succeed. And just be there to witness all the glory and not experience any of it. I thought Jim Harbaugh, brothers, forget all the head coach.
Beard was good. Blue Jays was good.
He's just happy about freaking Joe Barry.
His ass was shipped out. God,
cheers to Packers fans. Cheers to Packers fans.
Nah, fuck those guys. But as a Bears fan, I'm saying that. No, I thought the Jim Harbaugh hire was a slam dunk. This is a guy who was quoted as saying that we have unfinished business, okay, to get done in the NFL. I love it. He doesn't have to worry too much about the quarterback situation, even though I already loved his development and his track record of developing quarterbacks. Maybe not so much in Michigan, but Michigan's been a tough draw in terms of bringing in those high-quality five-star recruit quarterbacks. And to be honest, I actually even liked what he did with J.J. McCarthy this year, even though I'm not the highest on him compared to certain other guys. But what he's done with Andrew Luck, what he's done with Colin Kaepernick in years past, I've loved that. So he doesn't have to worry about that, because he's arguably getting a top 5 quarterback in the league this year with Justin Herbert. But I love it, honestly. And he takes defense fucking serious, okay? This guy will bring in Vic Fangio if he has to, or someone who's a top tier defensive mind, because that has clearly been the fucking case going back to his days in San Francisco, all throughout his days in Michigan, where he had elite defense after elite defense. Okay, so I love that. I love the foundation, the discipline he puts in place, and the fact that he cares about his players. You know, sometimes it's to a weird level where he's fucking sleeping over at their houses and shit. But you know,
Yo,
I love the guy.
Bring that up?
I've never seen anything like that. I was like, whoa. I was just like, I was taken aback when I saw that, you know, but I love Jim Harbaugh as a player. I mean, as a
thing ever.
Bears enemy. Oh, God damn it. I hope to God we don't hire his ass. Please. I'm begging that they'll bring back Vic Fangio, but
I want it to happen. Look, making fun of the Chicago Bears is just content at this point.
I know, dude.
Ever since the double doink, it's just content at this point.
We're gonna cuck it up. I know we're gonna cuck it up. So it's just like that's just a matter of when.
Calling your own team cucks is crazy.
Yeah.
Harbaugh wants revenge on his brother for that Super Bowl. 73-10-7 Luka final. My gosh.
And one of the things that people don't remember is Jim Harbaugh has some history.
Dilly.
Jim Harbaugh has some history with the Chargers. He used to be the backup quarterback who actually was Ryan Leaf was benched for in 2000. You know, and so he's got some history. So I was a little surprised that he did end up going there, even though he has some history in California as a whole. But I thought it was a slam dunk hire. I loved Raheem Morris getting in there. He's a great defensive mind that throws a lot of different schemes at you, whether it's quarters coverage, cover 3, cover 2, man. Like it's so much that he throws at a defense. I love it. He did some good things in Tampa, his first time around as a head coach. So I'm glad to see that he's given another opportunity. Dave Canales, though, to the Panthers, before I end out, I was a little bit fascinated by it. I really liked him and what he did in Tampa Bay. He's a bit of a brand new, offensive mind. This is his first time being an offense coordinator just last year. But I think the Panthers want to strike the iron while it's hot, so to speak, kind of like what the Dolphins did with Mike McDaniel. And I think this could pan out. But the thing I do wonder about is Dave Canales talked about how much he loved being in Tampa Bay as an offensive coordinator. So is he sold out to be a head coach? Is he like, I'm all bought in. Let's fucking go. Let's turn on the Jets. Let's bump a fucking line and just let's let's go crazy. Okay, let's go absolutely fucking ballistic. No, he's not gonna snort any coke. I don't believe that one bit.
No. Hey, let's not even these owners.
But he's a great guy. He's a great personality. He's a player's coach. I just wonder, is this what he truly wants? And I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying he stated that one thing, and that's great if he wants to stay in Tampa, and it's also great if he wants to be a head coach. But that mindset, you've got to be fully bought in, fully clicked in if you want to be a head coach. And I just worry, though, at the same time, with him being such a great dude, a great personality, a great players coach, you got David Tepper's ass to worry about, Wow, and this guy is the biggest fucking dingus in the world when it comes to owners, if not close to it, So,
Irsay,
Irsay's up there too. Don't get me wrong. That foot, freak that he is, I that's the only thing I worry about is him gelling with that dude. Cause he's a real fucking dipshit if I've ever seen one,
So we're really quick. Anyone getting sad that football's almost over? A little bit.
It's never over for me.
Yeah, I was about to say, but it's realistically never over, like from the standpoint of like what we do. It's a 24/7, 365 business.
Yeah.
Plus the leap year.
I was literally
in the playoffs,
I was literally texting Robbie about left foot, right foot for a wide receiver.
Yeah, it's never over, and trust me, the content I'm gonna be doing over on Twitch, because Twitch lets me do certain things that YouTube won't. The off season is gonna be lit, and then plus we get a lot of soft market gambling with college basketball, NBA,
baseball.
baseball. So we'll still be heavily be hitting the books too.
Mm-hmm.
Book 62 point night. Wasted refs call, no fouls in the fourth.
Book got 62 as well. Damn, I knew he was getting up there. That's wild.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's been a lot of high scoring NBA games lately. Honestly,
4 of these 60 plus games in 60 plus games in the last.
What's crazy is the Embiid and Cat Day was also the Kobe 81 anniversary.
Right. Yep.
That's right. Against the Raptors in 06. Jalen Rose's ass, man. That was
least response to Blue Jays was, "Nah, we waiting for UFC 300, but Dana White won't oil us up." Pause. I do not want Dana White oiling me
I don't
up.
want his fucking grimy blue collar hands touching my, fucking.
Ew.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Toronto Dave, shout out Raptor. Shout out you guys for unloading Siakam, but fuck you, Siakam, for ruining my parlay last night. That you were the only one that needed to stay under, and you wanted to just barely go over.
TD in the house.
What's good? Shout out to everybody up in the 6. Shout out all of our Canada followers, all of our Canada subscribers. Look, when it comes to these 3 hires here in the National Football League that we got, first, I think the Callahan thing is just gonna for Tennessee. Because since David, you brought that one up, I think it's gonna be mid. It's gonna be mid as fuck.
It could be.
I don't think this team goes over 500. Like you remember, like for all my stoners out there, y'all remember that old school Mexicano brick weed? Like it came like and like it was just hard and like it had seeds and stems in it. That's gonna be but it still got you high. Like that's gonna be the Tennessee Titans. They're gonna be the equivalent of that.
The stems and seeds of the NFL of that.
But with that, with that also being stated, obviously Harbaugh slam dunk. Chargers, you finally got your guy.
Yeah.
How the overhaul of the roster is going to work out. First, Harbaugh's super high on Justin Herbert. He was super high on Justin Herbert. So we knew because of how high he was on Herbert that this was going to be the slam dunk. We predicted it from day one. We said it was going to happen. Look at the Rumboyz getting another thing right. But how the roster overhaul is going to work out in terms of the running back position, bring in someone that can be a reliable running back. The backups back there are kind of mid, so to speak. Anyone not named Austin Eckler, they're not running with authority. Like Chargers need a running back like I don't know Isaiah Pacheco, who's running like he fucking wants to bite people.
Yeah.
They need someone that's going to run angry. They need to go back to more of a traditional running back type of style. Yeah, Spiller was a buzz.
I thought he'd be a gem because I liked his tape coming out of Texas A&M.
I love this tape coming out of Texas.
Are the Chargers gonna draft Blake Corum?
I could see that, and I think that works out for them. Saquon to Houston would be.
I'm saying with Harbaugh now.
I want to see them improve the offensive line if you're going to pursue Corum.
No, yeah, but Corum won't be till like the third round, second, third.
Right? Yeah.
No, for sure.
Late grab. Yeah. No, I want to see how the roster overhaul works because to me it didn't. I mean, obviously Staley had to go. We've roasted Brandon Staley enough, right?
Yeah.
But to me, it's not going to matter who's coach if you can't get talented youth to be able to perform the job. You're aging at the wide receiver position. You're aging at running back. The defense is old as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you got to start figuring out some things. So I'm interested to see how Harbaugh approaches that. I think this upcoming season we see the Chargers. That whole division is going to be topsy turvy. That whole division is going to be the Chargers. I think still suck next year. Straight up,
really.
I think the record improves. I think that we don't see them losing by these crazy margins. These very close margins as much as where we've been accustomed to.
Can I say one more thing about the Chargers?
I don't think that that division's tough. What were you going to say?
I want to say one more thing about the Chargers, and it's bouncing off of what you just said. You said part of the problem with the Chargers is the lack of depth around the entire team.
Yeah.
Who was the GM that got fired?
So let's go.
The Raiders are so stupid.
Yeah. I was gonna touch on that, and I was gonna kind of segue into that.
I want to say I actually don't hate that hire because I love the aggression he came with, bringing in guys like a Khalil Mack and a J.C. Jackson. Khalil was a gem, okay? J.C. Jackson was a huge bust, but I don't believe that's hinged upon what Tom Telesco did. I believe that was just like, I thought everything was going to pan out, and then J.C. Jackson just didn't he didn't vibe with the environment. Like that was on J.C. Jackson more than Telesco. So I loved his aggression. Things didn't work out, in my opinion though.
At the end of the day, the Raiders are going to Raider. I love that the Raiders went ahead and grabbed it and Antonio Pierce. I feel like we all kind of knew that was going to happen. I feel like we all felt that was deserving for them to grab Pierce. Bringing in Telesco as a GM is bass backwards for for you to get Pierce and then bring in Telesco, that's gonna be fucking weird. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
Well, you got a fucking boofer of an owner that you know, like in Mark Davis, who doesn't know diddly shit on what to do. Like he's like that's the be all end all, you know, where everything's gonna fuck up because of him. You know,
the only thing he's done right in the last 24 years is that smoke show that he had in the season.
and I'm just shocked when you look like Simple Jack if he's been huffing glue for 30 years.
Damn,
still, you know,
not Simple Jack. Fuck.
Wow, I wasn't going there.
I'm just saying, some things don't add up. You know,
yo, you did not just call that man simple. Holy
yes,
fuck,
he did.
Fire. That was such a good roast, bro. Pat God level roast right there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Fucking no, like, yeah. The Raiders, I think though that the head coach, they did get their guy. They you know, and Pierce, congratulations on you. You got what you deserve.
That was perfect.
Aiden, I can't say anything about a couple of these things.
Robbie is salivating right now at the thought of revealing this news. Like,
well,
he can't wait. He's fucking scratching his throat.
Well, the question is it those names or is it the other one that's being brought up?
No, I literally can't.
Who's the other name? I'm sorry. Who's the other name you're talking about? I'm slow right now.
I don't know if I wanted to say it so I get a reaction, so I'm trying to just not say anything.
Oh, I see.
I mean, no, you can say it. Like I'm not.
The other one that's being linked is Dan Quinn.
Oh yeah, that is such an underwhelming ass hire for a head coach. So underwhelming. I'm not big on him getting.
We'll talk.
Yeah, but anyways,
you can tell me. I don't think it's going.
See, there's that giggly little schoolgirl laugh we've been waiting for. You know?
It's that right there. I'm not saying it is. Yeah. Don't bring it. Don't leave it there now. David can go to the chat.
Contractually, I cannot confirm or deny what the chat is saying.
But hey, that's a motherfucking slam dunk if you guys did. Okay, I'm just being. That's a fucking slam. That's balls in the face, posterized slam dunk right there.
Look,
you know,
I don't know anything. I've never been an analyst a day in my life. I don't even make content. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know my rights. You know,
if that's true, if that is true, I'm curious on the dinero. That's all I'm gonna say.
On the what you said?
It's good. The money.
De Niro. Oh, I think we were talking about Robert De Niro for a second. My bad.
Ethically, I didn't literally, but like ethically speaking, I can't.
He's being good.
Yeah, like when we talk about the integrity of sports journalism, I can't say fucking anything.
And speaking of the integrity of sports journalism, we will be bringing that up later with some stupid idiot.
Yes, we will. But no,
David Gillespie's alter ego.
Right. Really quick to kind of answer what Aiden brought up earlier. What I feel like is the worst coaching hire. I do believe that it's Morris. I know that I was also on record, roasting Carolina for the Canales hire. But to David's point with Canales, you're at least striking iron while it's hot. It's your typical narrative of having the only available Hispanic coach in the league for Carolina. They did it with Ron Rivera. They're going to do it again. With Canales, you're going to have to give him time. And I think that Carolina, I want to use the word competent enough. I want to say that I feel like Carolina is competent enough to give Canales time. But as I also say that,
I mean, look what they did with Frank Reich. And he's a nice guy too. Like, that's the thing. They're both kind of like equal personalities, and Tepper's gonna, he's gonna fuck it up and let his ego get in the way.
I agree. But I think that it is a good hire. If you're Carolina, you have to let Canales kind of have more of the control of the roster construction, I feel, because he's going to know how to put the pieces in play to make himself and that team successful, to make Bryce successful.
But that's part of my issue. That's my only issue with the hire, is I have a feeling they're not going to let him do that.
Exactly. Well, it'll be interesting seeing when the camera pans to the war room in Carolina come April. I'm paying a lot of attention to what happens with Carolina, the draft, unloading the veterans, et cetera, et cetera. The defense is there.
Like?
The defense is in play.
I can already tell you exactly what it's going to look like. Mm-hmm. It's going to look like what happened this year when they panned over in the Tennessee one and freaking Vrabel's at the door getting pissed off, and then a year later Vrabel's gone. Hint.
Yeah. Yep, and I could see that. I could see that. It looks like Aiden's kind of agreeing with you there. Compton and David Tepper don't go hand in hand when the NFL's involved. No, exactly.
No, dipshit. No.
But wow. All in all, it's the success of the Carolina Panthers is dependent on how much control you let Canales have.
Yeah.
With that being said, and going back to Atlanta, that being the worst hire, we've seen this movie before, and I get that was as an interim head coach. We've seen this movie before. Does Atlanta need to improve defensively? Yeah. Can a defensive coordinator, because they're coaching against great offenses, be able to read those offenses, and have their defense go out there and win games? Yeah. This team needs an offensive mind. What's going to happen in regards to who's actually going to be calling the plays offensively that's going to be the make or break for Atlanta. Atlanta looked hot this year. But that style of play calling that they had last year isn't going to win them this year. I think that the NFL is going towards more explosive play callers. We're seeing a lot more explosive play callers than I feel like we've ever seen. I don't think that Atlanta could keep up. I don't think that Atlanta could keep up. I think that if anything, Atlanta, you may have taken a step back from where you already were, which is crazy.
It sounds so cliche to say, but all of this is so hinged upon which quarterback they bring, because fuck no, they shouldn't keep Desmond Ridder as their starter, and the offensive coordinator that's going to be developing that quarterback. Like it's cliche, but that's the truth in terms of where Atlanta's going to trend moving forward.
Yep. Does the narrative around Raheem getting hired change if they nail their OC?
That's what I was just saying. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
100%. But I do like the Canales though hire because I think he's such a good fit with Bryce Young in developing him and his progressions and his ability to make decisions within the pocket, because this guy couldn't get anything going downfield whatsoever last year. And it's a shame because that was a specialty of his at Alabama. But to make him more comfortable in the pocket and to work his game gradually to where he's going to be excelling in short yardage and intermediate first before getting up to the deep ball game, kind of like what they did with Baker Mayfield, what Canales did with Baker Mayfield, where they prioritized a lot of their offense came out of the short yardage and intermediate game. I like that for Bryce Young and his development. I really do.
Yeah, it's the spring trainings this year are really like when we get into like the all season, when we get into practice and stuff. That's really going to be telling. I want to see how the players respond when it's just helmets, pads, not even full contact. I want to see how the body language, how they're responding to these guys. I think that's going to be very telling as we start getting into to all season workouts. Mm-hmm. LSU OC getting an interview. JD5 to Atlanta. Falcons looking at. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Both the guys on the same page. Chris Lindstrom is the best player on the Falcons offense.
Yeah, I would agree. Bijan.
Want to get into roasting somebody really quick. All right. As always, like I feel like with this person specifically, as always, Skip Bayless finds a way to say something fucking stupid, something completely asinine to keep his career relevant. This time he's taking shots at Barry Sanders. Completely out of fucking left field, by the way. Completely out of left field. Let's also add to the fact that this show would be nothing if, he isn't having Lil Wayne and, whatever other rappers on with him. He's taking shots at Barry Sanders, saying that Barry is overrated.
Yeah.
Barry did clap back. Saying that Skip is overrated. Too. What are your thoughts on Skip's statements? And how's that him, Stephen A, like they keep getting away with shit like this? I mean, Stephen A getting ready to command $20 million, fine, whatever, biggest name, in sports media. But this is also the same fucker that said that the Houston Texans had no chance in that first playoff game. Got that wrong. The same person that said that Baltimore was going to lose. He got that wrong. How is it these guys are – what the fuck? Mike.
No, I'm letting Skip Bayless defend himself.
Oh my God! Just wait until I fly out to California and give you the business, personally. Just wait.
Give you the business personally sounds kinky as fuck.
Well, I'm gonna plead the fifth on where I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I don't live in that other city.
I cannot confirm nor deny. No, but man, goddamn, this guy is the biggest fucking insufferable little pissant in all of sports media. Like, let's just be real about it. This guy, he's like a malfunctioning robot because I don't even think he has a personality.
No, he doesn't. This is the same fucker that wrote the Troy Aikman book and was like, Troy Aikman's gay.
Yeah, insinuated that he's gay and all. It's funny too is that like his favorite team, who he clearly is an absolutely fanboying little bitch about. They can never do him any wrong. They're always Super Bowl contenders every fucking year. Everyone from that team fucking hates him. Like, no one likes him. Even his favorite team that he cheerleads doesn't even want to cheer
Parsons
him on,
was just talking shit about him.
That's what I'm saying. Dak Prescott obviously hates him. Especially, what, and now I'm sure Skip doesn't really give a shit about that because he's kind of also sold his ship on once proclaiming that he was maybe the best quarterback in the NFL, which was never the fucking case, even though I actually really like Dak Prescott and think he's a top 10 quarterback. Now he's like, fuck Dak in every regard whatsoever, which is just incredibly stupid.
And then it's starting beef with Cam Newton as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's sickening. But he's been hating for Barry Sanders for a long time. Like, this has been ongoing where he's constantly said, like, oh, he was a negative yardage running back where he would have this one big run a game, and that would kind of overshadow the fact that he would have 10 million negative runs. Now, he did have a lot of negative runs, but this was a guy who was a model of consistency. This was a guy that was basically the sole identity of the Lions offensively for the longest time, for like half of his career up until, they started to get some things going with Scott Mitchell and Herman Moore, and who was kind of like the original, the OG Calvin Johnson.
To Lee's comment really quick. He's a troll trying to make serious takes. Do we really believe that he's a troll? Like, I really think that Skip believes in the shit that he says.
Oh, he's absolutely delusional. You see it on you see it on his Instagram takes where he's trying to model his Jordan shoes like a fucking Gap little schoolboy, like a kid modeling for a Gap shoot. It's disgusting. Like, this guy is like the most insufferable. Like, he's not my least
talking head.
He's not my least favorite analyst, to be honest, because I think Nick Wright takes the cake on that one, but it's very close. It's very fucking close, Yeah, and he's like he has no problems making enemies with anyone, and it's just it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening.
Jared Goff has no time for Skip Bayless. Anything those guys on daytime TV say, you can skip over that. And I love this because I really feel like, and I'm not saying this because I'm a content creator. I'm not saying this because we're on YouTube or we're on Twitch. Like, I'm not saying this because we're streamers or anything, but I'm gonna be fucking honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be. Truth is so blunt right now. Roll one and smoke it. Take what I'm about to say, put it in a fucking blunt and smoke it for real, for real. I do think that there is a big difference. Like, I feel like if you are a sports fan, if you are a fantasy player, if you are a gambling type of, guy or gal, to fucking be listening to these daytime TV analysts, when I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sit here and gas us up. But you know what? No, at this moment with this topic, no, I'm going to suck my own dick a little fucking bit. Marilyn Manson style. We have civil debate on this show. And the debates that we have drive results into people winning fucking money. If you're listening and you're taking what Skip or Stephen A says when they're like, well, I'm picking this team. Stop it. Just a matter of fact, delete your fucking DraftKings account. Delete your Prize Picks account. Delete your fucking FanDuel account. You don't if those are the people that you're going to, it's like, well, Stephen A said, no. if you're the type of person that those are the takes that you regurgitate to make yourself sound sensible in sports, I'm sorry. I feel like you don't really know sports. So I'm going to be honest. I don't think they didn't either. I've said this before, and I'll say it the fuck again. Mm-hmm. I don't think they, in either of them, could, in terms of a sports debate, I don't think either of them, don't get me wrong, both very intelligent men, have been doing the job for a long fucking time. Just because you've been doing something for a long time doesn't mean that eventually, you kind of die off and you kind of fucking fall off. You're not nice. Like, you're not good. Like, you're not a reliable source. Like, you're only a reliable source because you have a fucking platform. Mm-hmm. If you had to start in today's day and age of media and content creation, if you had to fucking be a YouTuber, I'm sorry. I don't think that you're grinding from the bottom. You're grinding. Yeah. I don't say things just for fucking views. I don't have to say things. No, I say things to make sure that you win. Yeah. I say things to make sure that you win. And I'm sorry, but our results prove it themselves. You come to this YouTube channel. We give you our fucking picks. We give you our takes. You take that and then you mix it up and you do your own. And then what happens? Motherfuckers is out here becoming profitable.
Yeah. Skip Bayless is like the televangelist equivalent in sports TV. He's like Kenneth Copeland of like sports TV, where he can just point his finger and everyone's convinced that he's telling the truth. Like he's trying to get rid of COVID by just saying "be gone." And
bro, that's what I'm saying. Like I haven't watched any talking head sports show like those for the last 3+ years. So many more avenues to get legitimate content that blows their shit out the water, and that's what I think that's why I'm pissed off. Like when Skip, and what really got me wasn't even necessarily the Barry Sanders thing, because it's like, okay, well, you're just doing that for clickbait. You're just doing it was the Dak Prescott's better than Cam Newton thing. And I was like, wait, Cam Newton was a dual threat quarterback. Cam Newton.
Oh, you don't believe Dak is better than Cam? Really?
Fuck no.
I mean, he's
like prime Cam. So if you look at the stats, like if you look at their full stat sheet, Dak is a better pure pocket passer.
Yeah.
Dak can't fucking run to save his life.
No, I know, but Cam was like, I love Cam.
For a black quarterback, Dak is not mobile.
And no. Well,
if I had to run from the
I guess without original preaching,
I'm not trusting that we're getting away from the police together. One of us is only getting away.
Oh God. He is mobile though. On if we're putting him in the pool with also white quarterbacks too, like he's got a little bit of wheels. He's got some mobility. He's got a couple gears in there.
Those are good.
But I don't even think they're that entertaining, to be honest. Like we all know what Skip like what Stephen A. Smith's gonna do to troll the Cowboys. He's gonna put on some fucking dopey ass Cowboys hat and just start laughing maniacally. And it's just all cliche. It's all boring. Like I think honestly, if you want to find quality sports content creators, or sports broadcasters, you have to follow them individually. You don't just go to a network.
Matt, I agree.
And to be honest, you don't even go to the higher networks. Like 99% of them are just kind of forgettable. Like Minnie Kimes is great. I love her. Louis Riddick is great. I love him.
Yep.
There's not a ton beyond that. And like when we're talking the upper echelon of sports media networks, with ESPN and Fox Sports.
And NFL Network, I trust. NBA on TNT, I trust. Like, don't get me wrong, there are
NFL networks. They got a couple, and
because
NBC.
At the end of the day, we're all hate or love it. We're all in the same fucking industry. We're all colleagues. One way or another. 6 degrees of separation. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody. It is what the fuck it is. Just because that's 6 degrees of separation, and just because you've been doing something for a long time, does not mean that I need to fucking respect you.
No, 100%. That doesn't mean shit, dude. There's so many people who are conning their way into earning money. Like it's a con job that we're seeing.
Oh yeah. Cam's Peak was far better, but it flamed out damn quick. I mean, when you play that style of football, yes. At least they know some ball from playing. Oh yeah. The TNT guys, the TNT guys. That's also why I trust them. That's also, MVP Cam took that shitty Panthers roster to the dance. Exactly.
They are fucking funny. The NBA on TNT, Inside the NBA, is one of the funniest fucking shows ever. Like that is like absolutely comical. Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny.
Whenever Stephen A. tries to do actual like content creator things, honestly, is fucking hilarious. Just a little bit.
He can be kind of funny with like how he deadpans. He's like, listen, I'm going with the Charmander. Okay, I ain't playing around. And he's dead serious when he's answering these questions. Like, yeah, I expected this shit.
Mike, I want to get your take on this really quick. We've had this conversation before.
And that's why I let David go first, because I know how passionate he is against his alter ego.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but Mike,
I'm putting a bounty on Mike's head after this.
You see the results that this show creates for our viewers. Like, I want the chat to be honest with me. Who's won you more money, Rumboyz or Skip or Steven?
Well, Skip keeps telling you to vote on the Cowboys, so of course not.
And they go through like five. They have like a 5-topic rotation of what they fucking talk about too. It's disgusting. It's like LeBron,
Dallas,
LeBron, Patrick Mahomes. Like the maybe a little bit of the Eagles or something like that. A little bit of the Steelers, and I don't know, why baseball fucking sucks now or something. It's like
for real. Hey, top tier show that I want to give a shout out to. Good Morning Football. Good, like you guys do amazing work. I fucking love everyone over at that cast. GMFB top tier show. That's where you can actually because each one has like a different take and but they all like.
I like Schrager a lot. He's good.
I fucking love Schrags, but Kyle's Kyle's fucking hilarious. Kyle's the energy that keeps that ship afloat. Mike, how do you feel though, man?
All right, so before I give my take, I just want to clear it up with the chat because David knows this already. Mm-hmm. I'm just giving David shit because on his show, I went in the chat and called him Stephen A. And his boys loved it. So it's just a running joke.
I'm placing a bounty on Mike's head.
I know you are.
If someone can hog tie him and bring him to Seattle, Washington at an undisclosed location.
Here's the problem. Seard works with me. So this could happen at any minute.
There we go. That's what I need. Seard, DM me, okay? Come on now.
All right, so here's what I think. Barry Sanders is not over. I'm going to keep this short because, like you said, Robbie, we've talked about this over and over. Barry Sanders is not overrated. Okay. Yes, I do understand. Not saying that him saying he's underrated is wrong, is right, because he's freaking wrong as hell. But he's not the first one to bring up the fact that Barry had a lot of negative yard plays. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that he is one of the top 3 best ever running back to ever play the goddamn game. And I think it was you, David, that brought it up. I know Robbie's brought it up.
It's Walter Berry and Emmett. It's Walter Berry and Emmett at the time.
And Jim Brown, throw him in the mix, though, too.
Yeah.
But once something goes away, like the Cowboys have gone away in the last week for him to keep bringing it up, and there's no LeBron. Yeah. There's no LeBron versus Michael talk right now because it's not the playoffs in the NBA, and he has all his nothing for him is going on right now. He has to say something like you said that's clickbaity.
Yes, for both.
And now that he has said something that's going to spark people, he's back in the news. And that's my problem with Skip, is he always has to say something to get himself back in the news if his takes don't get him back. Like his legit takes that's happening now don't mean anything. And now that the Cowboys are out, he doesn't have shit.
Takes go hand in hand in the same.
No, but I mean more like there's nothing going on right now that he can give a legit take on. So he has to make something up to give a take.
Well, what's crazy too is like they said, we were the comparison that he was making to is like, Barry Sanders wasn't his playing style wasn't equating enough to winning football. But when he was playing with like shithole quarterbacks for like pretty much all of his career, like he went to the playoffs 5 times in 10 years of playing. You know, half the time he was in the fucking playoffs. Like, and, you know, even went to the conference championship with the Lions, which, I mean, they weren't doing shit prior to that, nor up until this year. You know, so you're not giving him credit where credit's due when this was a guy who was about to smash the all-time rushing record had he kept playing. And we all know
honestly, the way that Barry pioneered the cutback.
Exactly, like, the best speed back ever. 100%.
The bet, like that. I'm sorry, but Skip, I ain't never. I've been in film rooms with like legitimate players. Like, you know, every offseason, hop on a couple of Zoom calls. We break down film. We talk some shit. I ain't never seen you in a film room, bro.
He says he even said it on air one time that he's like, oh, I never rewatch the games. I never rewatch any clips. I just go because I have a perfect fucking memory. With this fucking geriatric.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep it real. Yeah. Am I good at my job as an analyst? Oh, I'm damn fucking good. Oh, I'm damn good. I'm damn fucking good. But do I have a perfect memory? I'm still a human being at the end of the fucking day.
We all are, yeah.
And maybe it's just because I'm a football player. I played football up until the age of 28, going all the way through semi-pro and flag. Maybe because I've sacrificed, you know, my mind, my body, my spirit, you know, so much to this game that maybe I view it differently. Maybe that's why I view it differently. Maybe because I don't view it through the casual lens. Maybe that's why I still go back and rewatch film, because I've been doing it since fucking 4 years old playing Pop Warner.
I think that's part of it, but like I do think that's part of it. Like, even when I asked you the questions about wide receiver, you went a completely, I mean, yeah, you did what I wanted you to do, but you went a completely different direction than any other person I would have asked that hasn't played the position. But at the same point,
but what I said. Yeah, but if you were to ask Tyreek is going to say the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying Tyreek played the position. Yeah, I'm saying Skip not playing, like even me or whatever. Yeah. But at the same point, even though I haven't played the game, I invest enough, and you know what I've been doing lately. I invest enough to learn what's going on, to give a fuck, instead of just giving something for people to talk about.
Absolutely. I think, like, we're about to get into halftime here, but the point of this conversation really is, guys, please, the people like this and takes like this can't keep being successful if we as a community say, I'm not going to give you my attention. If we as a community can say, you know what, I'm not going to waste my hard-earned dollars utilizing your analysis for the sake of my progression, whether it's through fantasy or betting or anything. To say that Barry is overrated is fucking asinine. It's the dumbest thing ever. Yeah. I haven't met Barry yet. Barry, I'd love to sit down, you know, talk. I have the utmost respect for you. I don't feel that you're overrated at all. So to me, when we talk about greats, it's you and Walter at the position. When we talk top two, and we could even that can go either way.
Yeah, as someone who's a Bears fan, says Walter's the greatest. Like, I'm totally fine with someone saying Barry's the greatest because there's a spectacular argument for it.
Exactly, it's the same thing that when we talk about Moss and Rice and how they pioneered the position, it's the exact same thing. Skip, stop the bullshit, bro. Like. Stop the bullshit. You haven't been shit. You haven't been shit since you lost Shannon. God. Uncle Shay Shay's bigger than you. His platform's bigger than yours now. I'm sorry, but we gotta, as a community, we gotta band together and we gotta say we're no longer supporting these guys. We're no longer giving these guys, at least those of us that are really like not new to this and true to this. If you're a casual and that's what you like, fine, whatever. Don't fucking jump my DMs and complain about like, oh, well, like you never gave me the picks. Bitch, I run a whole show. You can tune in. If you can tune in and watch their show, you can tune in and watch my show. Don't get mad when you see the winning card or when you see like the tweet where it's like, oh, we're undefeated through the playoffs. Well, why didn't you give me your picks? You have the ability to tune in like everyone else. And you have the ability to pick us or any other platform respect to going for 2. Respect to TBQ. I can never say y'all's fucking
TBQ Sports. Yeah.
TBQ. I did say it right. TBQ. I was like, do I put the Q first?
God.
You know, you can tune into literally anything, and there are good analysts that are at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, Schrags. You know, we talked about.
Yeah.
You know that TNT cast that the chat mentioned.
Even Ryan Clark. Like,
yep, right. I fucking love Ryan.
Like Ryan Clark is like, I mean, compared to what they have on ESPN, he is like God.
Hey, really quick though. Hey, Ryan, shout that. Hey, I need to know who the fuck your designer is. That suit that you wore last week, that all burgundy suit was fucking crazy. I was like, he's definitely the most expensive dress on the. I
do love his pivot show. The pivot is like actually a bomb. It's a very well thought out and set up show. You know,
very good product, very good. Barcel has some. Barcel has a couple. You know, but we're gonna get into halftime. On the other side of the show, we have picks. And I'm gonna talk some shit about you, Lincoln Riley.
Oh God.
And we'll also have a little bit of a Belichick talk as well. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rumboyz After Dark. Let's stick to the plot.
Stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. See, life's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like a Russian, so stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even with tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business, back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home, I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to live in the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas, at night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan and I stay on my mission to plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change directions. It's like that we live full of lessons. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't, fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the plan. Stick to the number one mission at hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't
try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the script.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand. In the club. Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, or turn me on, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop CLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, don't want zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, where you're not.
You don't have to worry, it's my time right now, cause the boy about to blow up. They gon' pay me before I show up. Why you hating? You don't know us. Never make it what they told us. But we don't listen to haters, we just keep.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Mike, I saw you grooving to the GLD joint backstage. Yo, plot got me hype. I always love that. I always love that track. I always love that track. Shout out to homie Radio Ray, man. My man's opened up for Hobson like a couple months ago when he was out here. Homie's doing this thing.
That's dope.
Yeah, bro. I was like, oh, bro. He's opened up for Tech a few times as well.
Tech 9?
Yeah.
Oh,
homie's doing his thing. Homie's doing his thing.
Badass.
Before we get into picks or the weekend picks, props, parlays, all that good stuff, there is something that I want to address, I want to bring up. Lincoln Riley spoke on the Jim Harbaugh hiring news, obviously to LA. We probably should have brought this up earlier. Lincoln Riley literally, and I quote, says, "If I saw myself coming to your conference, I'd also find a soft excuse to leave somewhere else. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly, we are on the second half of the show. Mike, Lincoln Riley's dumbass comments."
Exactly what you said. It's nothing I wouldn't expect from someone that coaches at USC. They're dumb. They're stupid. It's Lincoln Riley just sitting there happy that he doesn't have to face freaking Michigan and Jim Harbaugh. There's something telling me that Lincoln Riley is in for a little bit of a rude awakening in the sense of I don't think that, and this is a little biased. I can't deny that, but I don't think that USC is going to be as hot as everyone thought they were when they first decided to join the Big Ten. They have people leaving.
Lincoln Riley a bitch, but
I mean, for God's sakes, you have a five-star freshman comes in, gets told he's going to play after Caleb Williams leaves, and decides to leave, and go to Boise State.
So one of my favorite things with this, right, is how the comment section on my personal page ate this motherfucker alive. Mike, you follow me on the book, on the meta. But I'm gonna read the names because a lot of you guys may or may not know these names. A couple of our industry friends had some shit to say. Bowman big time. Mr. Hotbox, he said Riley a punk ass bitch. The homie Jeff the Scout. Gotta love the confidence though. My old linebacker that I played with back in my North Stafford days back in high school. He said, Mr. No defense, no big bowl games, but nothing but Heisman's. St. Pat FF said the equivalent of already laying on the floor with the black eye and yelling, "That's right, walk away." And then my homie Corey, he says, he don't win shit. Shut up, man. Followed by the man's is always has a top 5 draft pick as a QB wherever he's been and still can't win shit. So the comments ate this man a lot. Hey, how do you feel about some of the things that everyone has stated in regards to this? Like this blew up bigger than what the fuck I thought it was going to.
So I know a lot of people were sour about Lincoln Riley and his departure from Oklahoma and the timing of it. And a lot of people, called him a punk ass bitch and all that stuff. But you know what? As a USC fan, he's my punk ass bitch. Okay. I hold him in a higher regard as my go-to punk ass bitch. And I don't want anyone to tell me otherwise. All right. No, God, I'll tell you one thing. He's not on the same level as Jim Harbaugh, and I was a little bit worrisome about Lincoln Riley coming to USC. I mean, I loved the hire. I thought it was a spectacular hire, but the fact that he does not have a great track record defensively in developing a defense and bringing in the right crew, bringing in the right recruits to fit the model of defense that they need to win a championship, because he's still not won a championship yet. You know, he didn't win one. He got close with Oklahoma. They had some great battles against like Georgia, for instance, and but he couldn't quite get over the hump. You know, he hasn't quite gotten over the hump yet. I think I'm a staunch defender of Jim Harbaugh through all this fucking hoopla that he's been going through. I don't believe there's any evidence to tie him into this situation involving the guy who was shooting on the sidelines. And the stuff that he was suspended for, like let's put that into context. This was like stuff to do with like having contact with a recruit during COVID, like during the COVID era. Like this was like a matter of like maybe risking safety, in terms of like our exposure to COVID. But this wasn't like he was paying dudes under the table, or he was like bringing in a bunch of strippers and shit and getting them to twerk their asses so they can bring in some dudes. Like he wasn't Louisville. Do you remember that? Oh shit, my internet's bugging out right now.
No, it's Robbie.
Oh, is it Robbie? Oh, okay. Like the allegations with Rick Pitino, though.
Yeah.
So he wasn't doing that. He wasn't using some ass twerking as a tool of his, like some coaches. So I tip my hat to Jim Harbaugh because I think he does things the right way. Sometimes he he oversteps his bounds. Like, I think the sleeping over with recruits and stuff is just a little odd, you know. But I think that's just part of his eccentricity, and I think he's going to. He knows, like, okay, if I overstepped my grounds, it's barely, and he'll dial it back. But he won't do something like legitimate, you know, mischievous type of. He won't do some like legitimate mischievous and illegal type of shit like the stuff he's been accused of doing. So I've always been a Jim Harbaugh guy. I don't believe this is a situation where he's trying to dodge some stuff, you know, dodge some skeletons in his closet, some shit under the rug that he's been trying to, you know, kind of kick down and stuff, you know. I don't believe he has any bodies in the back of his trunk or anything like that.
No, I don't think he does either. All I was saying, I know you're not saying it, but the only reason I brought up that he left is because the sanctions that more stupidity from the NCAA that could be coming.
Yeah, and we all know that's a crap, like that's a shithole organization that, you know, I mean, at this point they're better off running on like an automated system than whatever the fuck they have right now with actual people who, I mean, I guess fucking, you know, like, I mean, I guess try to use their heads, but they don't know their ass from their head. Like, they're disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. So I don't know. I think it's funny banter and it's fun to talk about. But I don't know. I think, Lincoln Riley's getting a little like, it's his inner competitiveness coming out. And just you know how you shut people up, and you know how you get yourself to the level of respect that Harbaugh gets, you know, is that right now? You go win some fucking games. You go win some national titles, man. You got to focus on that defense side of the ball more than you do on the offensive side. So it's shit like that. I think it's goofy. It's, you know, I don't know, but it'll be water under the bridge soon because, you know, these guys are, I mean, they're not in the same league anymore. So it's a matter of that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah. So while we wait for Robbie to get back on, I actually have a question for David that is not on the show sheet.
If it's Skip Bayless related,
no. It's a legit question. Sure. Legit football question. Because where you live.
Yeah.
What is the sentiment up in the great Northwest about freaking Jed Fish becoming the head coach of the Washington Huskies? Because down here, we're questioning Washington.
You know, it's amazing what the timeline of 365 days can accomplish, okay? Because if you said this a year ago, if I were a UW fan, I'd be shitting and pissing my pants, you know, waking up in cold sweats every night, knowing our future. But Jed Fish has completely 180'd the Arizona program. This is far more formidable than I thought it was going to be. With a backup quarterback that led them to a 10-win season. A backup quarterback, because Jane DeLore was supposed to be the starter. Yeah, DeLore. Of course, he had some ankle injuries, and he was a good quarterback too. But our backup quarterback went out and balled out. And when you got guys like Tatora McMillan, Jonah Coleman, Jacob Cowing, all of these guys defensively, you know, with Manu and all these guys, you know, guys who were ball hawks out there in their secondary. It was a complete 180. And I think this is what I harken back to what I was talking about with Dave Canales and striking while the iron's hot. This is what UW's trying to do. I don't think they foreshadowed what Kalen DeBoer was doing with stepping down. And I mean, that was a heartbreaker. That was an absolute heartbreaker. But let's face it, it's the nature of the business where these guys are going to seek out the ultimate opportunity. And as great of an opportunity as it is with UW and what they've accomplished, not only did they lose their guys to the NFL draft with basically all of their offense leaving, but on top of that, this is not the storied program that is the equivalent of an Alabama. You know, they don't have that story. I know they've had some great moments here and there, and we all know about Warren Moon. We know about the 1991 national championship with Steve Entman and Mario Bailey, who actually played with his son. I played Little League Baseball with his son. Let's just say his son is a kind of a fucking far cry from his dad in terms of athleticism, but also an absolute pissant. But that's besides the point. His father was a baller. His father was awesome. His father maybe even should have won the Heisman that year over Desmond Howard. But that's besides the point. They don't have the history that an Alabama has. But I think this could be an interesting situation. They have a great foundation in place behind the scenes, and they don't take no shit. They don't. We saw what happened with Jimmy Lakes and the scandal that erupted as a result of that in the post Chris Peterson era. They don't take no shit. They're all about conducting themselves the right way. They don't have a lot of skeletons in their closet like certain other programs. I don't think they have any, honestly, based on what I've seen, or like I said, very few if any. Like it's a good foundation. If you work in tandem with that, competently, I think they're set up for a ton of success, honestly.
I was curious because you never know what happens with the new program.
Yeah. And sorry, I know I went on like a long fucking.
Oh no, you're good. Well, he
time.
Oh shit! Robbie's roboting out now.
What the fuck is going on with my internet?
Yeah, so I was just curious because, with DeBoer leaving that fast and doing what he did with that team, bringing in Penix and bringing in whatever,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and then you had you got Polk leaving, you got a Dunze leaving. What's his name transferred right to Bama.
Yeah, they had a couple offensive linemen and then a backup quarterback, I believe, too.
I think the wide receiver did too.
Oh, they had a wide receiver? Gosh, I've been kind of out of it on the
what's his name? Bernard?
Yeah, that's right.
I think he went to
Bernard, yeah.
I think he followed DeBoer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. They had a couple guys. Austin Mack went there. That's who I thought. A couple of Parker Brails for their center too. And that's the nature of the game. I kind of like. I don't know. It's nice. I do like the transfer portal, but it's kind of like it's got its benefits and drawbacks. Like I do wonder what this is going to like.
Well, I already said last week. I don't remember if you heard when I said it or not. I think that's one of the things that Saban is going to end up helping with.
You think he's not done, but he's going to be like an advisor, a consultant of some sort?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be interesting, because I believe he's retired.
He's not done.
Oh, do you think he's done coaching, though?
Yeah, I think he's done coaching. I just don't think he's done helping the game.
Mm-hmm. No, without that. Like, that's in his blood, and he's been doing this for way too fucking long. And
I could see him working with ESPN and doing this. Like, I could see him doing a couple. Like, he'll do something.
You think he's going to do media, potentially?
Yes.
He hates the media, though. Like, do you remember all those questions
he goes on every week? He goes on every week with Pat.
Yeah.
And he's done, during, it was last year's championship week. Or, he was on ESPN during the semifinal games.
I mean, it could be just the sideline interviews and stuff. And even, Bill Belichick, remember when he did, the NFL Top 100 and stuff? He had a lot of fun with that.
No,
maybe situationally, but I don't think he's going to be, a general NFL analyst. I don't know. A general football analyst,
I think, say it's a big week and it's 1-2. Say it's Michigan, Ohio State, and ESPN is on College Game Day at Ohio State. Could he show up, help out?
Because he looks like sometimes, he's about to pull a fucking aneurysm when he's hearing some of the questions that some of these media people have. It's where, there's, he can be just so ruthless, man. And I could see him doing it situationally here and there, but.
He'd be a lot better than Belichick will be if he does.
Oh, yeah. A lot less mumbling and,
and stumbling.
Grumpiness, Yeah. It's so weird, though, with all and those two guys, arguably the faces of their divisions in football,
I think we won't talk too much about Belichick because I think that's coming up on the show sheet.
Oh, it is? Oh, gotcha. God, Robbie's internet's fucking up big time right now. So what? No, but I don't know. I'm really curious to see what this also says about the future of the head coaching jobs and this mass exodus we've never seen anything like this. What this has to do with how much this has to do with NFL contracts or just a change of scenery. There's so much movement in sports now. Where you can completely 180 your trajectory and your direction you're heading towards in a matter of, like we said, in 365 days, in 1 year,
Well, here's a question, and I'm not – DeBoer has, the opportunity that DeBoer had, you had to take. But does Fish – I'm just throwing something out there to go to bounce off what you're saying.
Yeah.
Does Jed Fish take what, like you said, what he's done in Arizona, revitalizing a program down in Tucson that is not a football school, it's a basketball school.
Yeah.
Him revitalizing that, going to Washington, does he do that 3 years? Say everything else is the same. You know, DeBoer goes, and it's 3 years ago when there is no NIL and there is no transfer portal.
Yeah.
Does a coach like Fish make that move to Washington, or does he stay where he's making a home and making a good program? Because now he's able to get guys like go, hey, tight end, or, you know, whoever it is. You know, hey, quarterback, tight end, come with me. Or, you know, people can transfer like left and right where 3 years ago you couldn't. Yeah. So would you want – I don't know if Fish would have left pre-portal.
And NIL, yeah. No, I think there's that. I mean, like, you know, the transfer portal and all that. Like, I think
that's part of the reason we're seeing the max exodus around, like, changing jobs too.
What was the year that they changed the transfer portal rules? Wasn't it like it was after COVID, right?
Yeah.
No, because there was a lot less flexibility in which you had to manipulate your roster and stuff. But I think this is a good opportunity. I don't think they're going to be national title contenders, especially with the mass exodus of players that are going to the NFL draft alone, not to mention the transfer portal. But I do think this could be a coach, as long as you exercise patience, you know, and that's another thing I think which also ties into the transfer portal thing. There's not much patience in sports now. Like, you have to win now, and it can be a good thing sometimes, especially when someone's lost the locker room. But that's not always the case. And
like you're saying with the patience. I mean, like I brought up in my earlier take. If you would have asked me last week, and I pay attention to it more because I also play a little bit of Devy, you know, if you would have asked me freaking last year at this time or after signing day, so we know who's going where, that Malachi Nelson was going to leave USC after Caleb Williams leaves, and they don't have a 5-star, they don't have Dylan Raiola coming in. Yes, they supposedly got Julian Love coming, but who knows? He's still a junior, senior, so he can still retransfer, or, you know, he's not signed anywhere on the dotted line or anything. The impatience of players to even get on the field where players used to. I mean, look at a guy like Josh Jacobs. As an example.
That's a good point.
One of the reasons people liked him coming into the draft and now, or, you know, last year even, was the lack of tread on his tires. And part of the reason he didn't have a lot of tread on his tires, if people don't remember, I know me and you do, but that's because we're degenerates. Part of the reason he didn't have as much tread on the tires is he was behind everyone at frickin' Alabama and didn't play for 3 years. The problem with players now is if you don't play, I mean, there's all the rumors, is Arch gonna leave now that, you know, Ewers is staying? But there is no patience anymore with players to even try to get playing time. If you're a 4- and 5-star recruit, back in the day, just like the number 1 pick at quarterback back in the day, even if you were the number 1 quarterback, that didn't mean you were starting right away. Peyton Manning barely started right away. Now,
and true freshmen were rare, you know?
Yeah. And now if you're, I mean, for God's sakes, shout out Baseball Hall of Fame. Peyton Manning was a backup to who at Tennessee?
Yeah. Fucking
Todd freaking Helton.
Yeah.
Who's getting into the Hall of Fame. So my whole point is, even being running backs, even being wide receivers, and I get coaching had something to do with it. But like Caleb Downs decides to go to Ohio State. There's no patience with anything anymore, and that's part of the problem that we have. Welcome back, Robbie. I'm giving it straight over to you, sir.
All righty. We should be able to hear me now.
Yeah, you're much better now, you know?
Yeah, I'm like trying to fucking fix my damn router. I don't know what the fuck. Like, it randomly just like shit on me. So yeah, like it's never done that during a stream. So that was pretty fucking weird. I'm not gonna front. I'm a little bit pissed off. Either way though, anyways, I want to get into game picks. Kansas City Chiefs Baltimore Ravens is how we're going to start this off. Mike, don't you dare try and fucking run away.
I am not running away.
Kansas City Chiefs set to cover 4 points. They are +4. 44.5 over under at a +164 money line. Ravens favored at -198. How do you guys feeling about this, Mike? We're going to let you kind of start this one off.
Oh my God.
Fuck the -4. Give me the freaking underdog, baby. Okay. Of course, that was my homer pick. That was my homer in me. I don't care. In all reality, I'm going to pick the Chiefs, biased and unbiased. But I will be 100% honest with you. I will be shitting myself the entire fucking day on Sunday until 3:30 my time, which means game is over. I don't care how much time is left on this game. This game scares the living daylights out of me. Lamar Jackson scares the living daylights out of me. Freaking Mark Andrews scares the daylights out of me. But you know who scares the daylights out of me more than Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson?
Who's that?
Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That defense is the reason I'm scared. I am also scared because Joe Tooney is probably not playing. Yeah. And that is not very nice for me. We need Joe Tooney. Yeah, yes, great. Nick Allegretti is a decent backup, but that is like saying that freaking Walmart freaking fried chicken is as good as KFC's. It's not. I'm sorry. So my issue is this game is going to be close either way. What was the point I was just going to say? Mahomes is 8-0-1 against the spread on the road. Mm-hmm. Remember that, Robbie, when you give this take, please, because you're a betting man and you do like the numbers. 8-0-1 on the road. Please remember that. But I do think this is going to be close. And Robbie can attest to this. Robbie knows I'm not bullshitting, just saying it because we're playing at Baltimore this week. I have been saying since October that Baltimore is the team that scares the living daylights out of me, even when everyone was telling me in our circles and not in our circles and even on TV that I should be afraid of the freaking Miami Dolphins and freaking Cincinnati Bengals and Buffalo Bills more than any other team, that I said I was more afraid of Baltimore than any other team. So, yes, I am picking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Of course you are. David.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. Your Chiefs are going to just...
Well, I already know. Wait, before you give your full take, I already know where he's going. So you are just just go, because I'm going to rip him a new one in a few minutes.
Listen, this Ravens defense can't be fucked with. They're like
exactly my
They're
point.
like 11 apex predators out there that will maul the shit out of you and then piss on your corpse when they're done. Like,
that's why I'm saying I'm going to be shitting the old time.
Yeah, it's going to be terrifying, man. I mean, it's absolutely they leave no they leave. There's no survival rates, I think, in this game for the Chiefs to come out of it, considering the injuries, with Joe Tooney, for instance, because that's been a glaring concern that already, and it wasn't Joe Tooney's fault. It was the the twin tackles in Jawan Taylor and
don't get me fucking started on Jawan Taylor right now.
Yeah.
Most freaking penalized fucking offensive lineman that gets all this fucking money. You can go kiss my ass and go back to Jacksonville for all I care right now.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's going to be a shit show. I'm sorry, but I fear the absolute worst. And Donovan Smith, too, who's totally blanking out on his name, former Buck. It's not been good in terms of protection. And when you've got like a team that prioritizes man defense and 6-man blitzes and shit, like you're just set up for failure. Like I think that's really going to be what this game is predicated on, is how effective the defense is. Plus, not to mention, I mean, the Ravens' offensive line is great on the opposite side of things too. So especially in their interior, and why that's especially important is because that's going to open up the middle of the field for Lamar to be able to run through. Okay, and when you open up that, in addition to what he can do east and west, laterally, from a mobility perspective. That's bad news, straight up. Like you are just like, to account for his mobility on top of what he's done in the intermediate game as a passer, where he's been the best in the league, there's too much for the Chiefs to overcome. And I love you guys' defense. Don't get me wrong. Nick Bolton's my guy. Chris Jones, my guy. The two cornerbacks that you got in Trent McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed hasn't still allowed a touchdown all fucking season. Those two are my guys as well. But this Ravens team, man, I'm just with that defense and with the way Lamar has been as mobile as he's been, and coming off a historic day the other week against the fucking Texans, where he was the first guy with, 100 yards rushing, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 100-plus passer rating, all in one game. That has not happened in almost 80 years in the NFL.
No,
it's crazy.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sorry, man. Like, they are going to absolutely just clap them cheeks and
how much do so in
your
opinion,
no tip, like,
okay, before I introduce somebody's take, because I'm going to introduce his take. How much did the Chiefs lose by, in your humble opinion, Mr. Northwestern asshole?
At least you didn't call me Skip. I think we're making progress.
I'm going to throw it to you in a second. You shut your mouth for 3 seconds.
My score prediction, what did I say the other day? I think I said, I might have said 31-20. It's going to be a 2-possession game. It could be 28-20. 28-20, 31-20. You know?
All right, it's time for you to shut up. Mr. Robbie, I have known for 3 months, if this happened, if this matchup was to occur, I knew on October 1st what your final take was going to be. So go ahead and tell me why my team is going to lose, and tell me why you are fucking wrong.
Hey, look, straight up, Ravens by 7, baby. I got Ravens by 7. I think Ravens blow y'all the fuck out the water. I'm gonna keep it real. This team has been blowing teams out ever since they did San Fran.
If I wasn't a Chiefs fan, I would probably be making the same fucking take.
Exactly. Ever since they did San Fran, I was like, oh, yo, this team is fucking for real. You got to be scared of the Baltimore Ravens. Look, I'm sorry. I know that we've rode the Chiefs up until this point, but we've also rode the Ravens up until this point.
Yeah. No, we have.
That defense is on fire, but not just the defense. You're not. Lamar has this different. Lamar has a different beast in him right now.
Yes, 100%.
Lamar is out there playing like he's fucking possessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I can't bet against that. I can't see myself cheering against that. It's Baltimore all the way. This team is destined for it. You look back at that clip where, Lamar was drafted, and I think that really kind of solidifies and drives it even home even more for me.
Mm-hmm.
That he's about to go out there. He's gonna beast. He's gonna be a beast.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's Lamar's time.
You're fucking with Super Saiyan Lamar. This is like Lamar Jackson, but on PCP with the way he's playing. In the
I don't have a problem with your take. I'm going to have a problem with your take if we do win this game, and there's this. If we win, I'm saying if. I'm not saying when. If we pull this out, because we're going to have to go through Health and Fury to pull this shit out.
Yeah.
If we win, there's a certain take that I have a feeling might be made the week of the Super Bowl that me and you will be enemies for life.
Looking forward to it, buddy.
We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, we'll see. The Chiefs know how to play playoff football. Patrick Mahomes was born for the playoffs. If there's anyone that could give this Ravens team a run for their money, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
They'll put points on them.
Yeah.
Before we go to the next game,
but do they do it for 4 quarters? I don't know.
No, that's
I'll say this though. There's only one game in the playoffs that Patrick Mahomes hasn't come within at least one possession by, okay? And that was in the Super Bowl against the Bucs. So this could be a one-possession game. I said 2 possession. It could be a one-possession game and even be nearly decided by 3 points. But, dude, I think the Chiefs are still getting fucked. You know, I'm sorry.
There's one thing I need to say before we go to the next game that has to do with the Chiefs, but not this game.
Okay.
Jason Kelsey. He is my alter ego. Because I would have done the same fucking thing.
Yo, Kelsey, Jason at the Bills game was just absolutely crazy.
For him to flat out tell his wife that he was going to do it if she didn't like it or not, that would have been me.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I agree.
I mean, I took my jersey off at a Kings game.
I'm just happy that we instead saw like a world-class athlete's chest, you know, out in the bare open instead of Mike's over here, because I think that would just scar way too many children. I'm just being
Absolutely agreed. Hold on.
Did you just kick him out?
No, I don't have control.
No, I
Okay.
switched over. Last game that I want us to get into here, we got about 10-ish minutes left. Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers. It's a 7.5 point spread. It showed the way that the Vegas wrote the lines for this one shows just how much yield faith that they have in Detroit. It's over under a 51.5. Detroit is plus 270 dogs on conference championship weekend. I'm going to go ahead and before I pass it to you guys, I'm going to state, might take the shooter.
No, it's a phone charger.
Oh, it's a phone charger. Oh, that's dope. Vegas is pretty disrespectful for you to make the Niners a minus 340 favorite. But then you kind of did it with the AFC game. But I mean, I'm sorry. Look, this team made it to this point for a reason. If you're gonna make Detroit the dogs, which I feel like yes, rightfully so. But this is before I'm giving my pick. But Vegas is disrespectful to have them at plus 270 in a fucking conference championship game. They got here for a fucking reason. That line it should not be over plus 190 at the very best. At the very best, plus 180. You know, they should be a plus 180 line. David, I'll let you go ahead and drop your take.
Okay.
Then Mike, and then I'll go ahead and I'll give my picks to keep going 100%.
NFC title game, 49ers against the Lions. You know, there's so much that I envy about the culture that the Lions have instilled in their locker room. I mean, I like I said, I've said this before on a couple other shows, but I just feel like that like jealous boyfriend staring out in the rain into the window of the girlfriend I want that should be mine, and I'm just crying and sulking. It's so, because as a Bears fan, we don't have anything remotely like this. Like, it's a fucking dumpster fire. It's going to be another dumpster fire because we kept Eberflus, but that's besides the point. Lions are a great team, and they've had a great run, but this run comes to an end now, you know? Especially because Deebo Samuel was just activated. That ain't fucking good for the Lions defense. I believe this offense is going to feast. I believe they're going to feast pretty well. Christian McCaffrey balled the fuck out last week. Brock Purdy, listen, we got to stop disrespecting the man. It's you,
Yeah.
People out there, listen, watch the tape, look at the numbers. Those are two things you got to do, and you'll see how much of a quality quarterback Brock Purdy is. Brock Purdy, I'm not saying he's an MVP favorite. I'm not even saying he's an elite quarterback, but he's a damn good quarterback, and he's an MVP candidate this year nonetheless, okay? I believe Brock Purdy will be able to feast up against this Lions defense. The secondary, you basically need, if the Lions want to win this game and shut down the 49ers, they need like there's one crucial thing. For one thing, they can't allow big plays downfield.
Yeah.
But even with that, okay, even with their secondary, they've got some ball hogs, but they can allow a shit ton of yards. You need Aiden Hutchinson to play like a man possessed, like Lawrence Taylor, you know, like coked out Lawrence Taylor. Basically, is what you need him to play like, okay? And
Wait, how can you say a coked out Lawrence Taylor when, like, you need to be better than a coked out Lawrence
That's
Taylor?
what I'm saying. You need to, like, snort, like one line from one end of the bench to the other. Like, that's what you need to do, you know? Like,
let's do Yale.
That's what Aiden Hutchinson needs to play like, because he is the man of that defense. He is the leader. He is that alpha dog, you know? But I just don't think. I think it's too much. I'm talking like pick 6, fumble 6, causing a safety. He needs to take over this game because this defense just isn't good enough when you've got George Kittle, you've got Deebo Samuel, you've got Christian McCaffrey, who's my MVP choice. Brandon Ayuk's been an all-pro guy this year, and there's just too much. And with a quarterback that's slowly but surely I shouldn't say slowly but surely, he's actually very quick in figuring shit out, and Trent Williams protecting his blind side. Like, it's just bad news. It's bad news for this Lions team. I hate to say it, but they're so fucked. They're so fucked in this game. I think honestly, and the Lions may be able to put up some points in this game, but they could lose this by I could see as much as 3 possessions. I'm not saying it's going to be like that. I'll be generous and say something along the lines of like 31-17 is what I'm going to go. Maybe something like 28-14 if the Lions really step up their game, but it's too multifaceted with this 49ers offense. You got guys who can generate pressure and who can occupy the run game with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, and then stout run defenders like Nick Bosa, who's not just a great pass rusher, he's a damn good run defender too. It's too much. Javon Hargrave, all these guys. The recipe's just not there for success. There's just too much talent to take on. Considering what they have on both sides of the ball, they're arguably the most talented team in all of football outside of maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. But of course, this team's a lot more disciplined and didn't shit the bed away, shit the season away. So I just think it's going to be rough. 2-possession game, 31-17. I'll cash that in,
Yeah, I like that take. Mike?
We differ again.
Does a night train lane curse get broken?
I'm not saying that, but I don't agree with everything that you are going to say because I already know some of the shit you're going to spew out of your mouth. And I don't agree with a lot of what David said in the sense of this.
What's that?
Not saying you're wrong on your take about the Niners being legit. I agree with you that CMC is my MVP.
Yeah.
I agree.
Robbie.
I completely agree that CMC is the MVP. I agree that, Ayuk is a beast, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I truly believe still to this moment that Deebo is not Deebo. I believe that he is going to be more of a decoy. He's not. I don't think he's healthy enough.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I wasn't even saying it they're going to actually utilize him. In fact, they probably should sit him considering that shoulder injury. But he doesn't even need to be. They're if he's not active, if he's active, that's great. If not, that's fine too. They still have Kittle, Ayuk, and McCaffrey.
I agree with you on there, but here's my point.
Uh-huh.
If he is a true decoy,
yeah,
the least that Detroit does is cover the 7.5.
At the very least, right? So
I think they could pull the fucking game out.
So
I'm not putting my money there.
Yeah, to Mike's standpoint, Detroit covering 7.5 with no Deebo for sure sounds doable.
I've been saying that since Tuesday. I said that if Deebo does not play the game at all, I think it's even.
But kind of going back into what I said during the first half of the show, how we have civil debate and then we create the results for you guys. I don't, even without a Deebo, to David's point, I could see this very easily still being a 2-possession, 2-score, closing type of game.
Let me ask you this, Robbie, because I was going to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
I am not against, and I know Mr. David's going to say there's rumors going. I even heard a rumor before I get my bet that I want to bring up, because there's a bet that I want to bring up. I heard that if they don't make it was brought up this morning on Get Up. It was brought up that if they do not make it to the Super Bowl, that we could have another Jimmy G situation. Because they do have all the talent around the quarterback, like we know. Mm-hmm. Like you said, their defense is fucking legit. Their offensive talents are legit. You got CMC, you got Deebo, Ayuk I love. For God's sakes, I decided to throw Ayuk on the goddamn cover today. Mm-hmm. Out of the one Niner that I picked Ayuk. My point is, there's rumors that they could go after a Kirk Cousins. They could go after another quarterback if they don't make the Super Bowl.
I don't think that. I don't believe it.
I could hold on. I could see it.
Because
I don't think that.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But there's.
I don't think that it's gonna happen at all. Purdy's a guy. Purdy's proven that he can make all the throws. He can play at an elite level. He can play with the best of them. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna bang with the best of them. When you have a guy like that, and then you get him as pennies on the dollar as you did because of the draft situation. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but you kind of got to keep rocking with that and seeing how it works. Purdy has, I feel, won the hearts over of San Fran fans.
But that's what I want to bring up real quick. I am willing to say that he goes on his under on the yardage.
Man.
Because I don't think if it becomes like you guys are both saying, I don't think he needs to throw.
Oh yeah,
yards.
Oh yeah. I mean, he can lean on the ground game easily.
Yeah,
that could
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, as a bet, I would bet on the under.
But
when you have a guy like Trent Williams that can set up blocks, even set up blocks going into the second level.
Yeah.
To make opportunities for those jet sweeps, for those halfback counters, it makes it very hard to play against the team. This team is able to stretch the field left to right and also vertical, north and south as well. Mm-hmm. The Lions are going to have to make sure that they're playing in space, they're covering space. Mm-hmm. You can't allow separation plays. Here's the thing, they have damn good athletes up there in Detroit.
They do.
I would love this to be an economy driven Super Bowl. Both Detroit and Baltimore need this for the sake of their cities. Mm-hmm. Like, you want to talk about an opportunity that can bring some money
to that, yeah.
like you want to talk about an opportunity to bring some fucking money to your city and maybe provide some goddamn jobs. You need both these two teams in the Super Bowl.
I love that.
Let me ask you both a question.
What's that?
How much does Dan Campbell play into this?
Dan Campbell's always when you have a coach like that, it's always going to be heavily played into.
No, he's going to call a fake punt in the fourth quarter.
He's bold as shit, and I love him for it because it actually pans out as opposed to Brandon Staley's dipshit ass.
Exactly, but the chance that he's taken has gotten him to this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I just don't. If you're Detroit, you got to play super. Because at first, I felt like you have to play super conservative against this team. I feel like you got to go balls to the wall, and every fucking play needs to be a gamble. Every fucking play you're giving it your all. You're trying to pull things out of your back pocket. You're trying to call the plays that you know for a fact. You call scenarios and create scenarios where you know that they did not practice for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're gonna have to try and throw San Fran off their game. And what's great about Detroit, and one of the things they do have coming into this game, is they have the element of surprise. You have a coach that is so creative and so unorthodox with the way that he will run things, that can be your equalizer to be able to throw off.
And that's why I brought it up.
A very disciplined team like San Fran. If you're Detroit and you're wanting to win this game, you need to make them become undisciplined. You need the refs. You need the refs to be on your side. You're gonna.
That, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's. I'm sorry. I mean, come on. You got Detroit as a plus 270 dog, but then you turn around on the spread and you make San Fran the dog on plus 100. This is what Vegas is building a trap with this game. Then you set the over under super dumb fucking high for a conference championship game at 51.5. This is bait. This is your bait game. This is the game that Vegas wants to bait you with. With that being said, I am going to take San Fran to win. The heart wants Detroit. Detroit has given me very much.
Even I want Detroit. I'm a Bears fan.
Exactly. Yeah, bro. Detroit has given me very much 04 Boston Red Sox vibes. bloody shot Kurt
like
Schilling.
Yeah, they're gonna need something heroic and like that to win.
Look, I'm all for a Baltimore Detroit Super Bowl. Do I think that Detroit keeps up with Baltimore? Fuck no, not in. No, hell no, hell. If I'm Detroit, if I'm Detroit and I win this game, I'm like, please say that it's a she said win the early window. But I'm sorry, I think that we do get the best team out of the AFC and we do get the best team out of the NFC to give us a super February 11th matchup of Baltimore, San Francisco.
Well, and the thing is too, like there's so many factors that have to go in the Lions' favor, I think, for them to win the game. Because I love that, someone brought up earlier in the chat that the Lions have the best O-line in all football. For damn sure, yes, I 100% believe that. But you have a team, you also have an O-line that did allow pressure last week to Tampa Bay and kind of let Jared Goff get a little bit, could have potentially. I mean, it was way too close of a game for comfort, And there were some times where he was under pressure a little more often than you would have expected. You're going up against defense that has Fred fucking Warner and Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave and all these guys. Like, there's that. There's the creative play calling. There's the
personnel. The personnel makes it tells you everything as to why you pick San Fran to win. To one of the points here that Lise made. Shanahan has a history of choking in these types of big situations. So the pressure's not really on the San Francisco personnel as more so as it is on the coaching staff itself. Mm-hmm. These are things that you want to look for when you're placing your bets in big game situations like this. It's not going to be, the stats or, Brock Purdy's been an MVP. It's not going to be these things. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the unthinkable that's going to make you successful this Sunday. Mm-hmm. If you feel like if you are underneath the belief that Shanahan chokes again as a head coach, you need to be taking Detroit. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to take Detroit, then you are playing them on the money line outright. There's no sense in you fucking with the spread.
But I think that's the only way the Lions get the win is if Shanahan chokes in his own bullshit way, But
it's super possible. I'm
not saying it's not possible. I don't know. It is a dramatic fall from grace, though, for that. I mean, to have with this much talent that they have, you know what I'm saying?
I am riding with what I feel personally are the two best teams. If you're playing San Fran on the books, you need to be playing them by the spread. That's the only way I feel like you're going to get an ROI. The only way that you're playing them on the money line, you better be fucking parlaying some other sports into that, where either you're playing a big unit. Like you're either putting down at least 50 plus on them on a single, or you're just going to play it safe, or either you're going to have to do it SGP style if you're going to take the Niners online. But I don't think that you're going to be satisfied with the return on investment if you're playing them just straight up on the line. Minus 340, you're not getting shit. You could go outside and find fucking $2, and that'll probably be a bigger fucking return than if you place a 5, a 10, a 20. Well, if you place 20 on the Niners at a minus 340, you're only coming back with 30? Like $10 at best? No. Yeah, see, last night Oilers money line at minus 605 won me 20. Had to put down 110. Yeah, fuck that.
Oh, yikes! Yeah. Why? That's a little bold there, Leafs. Was it worth it?
I mean, Leafs got bread, so
I mean, he netted profit. Don't get me wrong, but that's a risky bet to lay down.
At a minus 605, I'd run that.
Just to get like an extra
20
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. I mean, hey, now I got $20 in gas. Exactly. That does jack shit in 2024. No, like for real. I think that the AFC is going to be the one that you're going to sweat. We're going to start the day off Sunday super fucking nervous. We're going to see how that turns out. The NFC, I think, is already decided, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it kills me because, I mean, It's way too familiar of a face in the 49ers, but just their big play capability. That there's so many elite talented guys. Like, I'm not even saying that they're elite necessarily at their position for sure. I mean, George Kittle certainly is, and Christian McCaffrey. But Ayuk, he's on the come up and stuff. But there's just like the talent though, the capability, the ceiling is there.
What year was that? What year was that when George Mason shocked the fucking world?
2006.
Yeah. Could this be? Could Detroit pull off like a George Mason?
I don't even think it's.
Like I said, a lot of things have to go in their favor. It could, but a lot of things have to go. There's a lengthy checklist.
But here's my problem with you guys saying that. I think that is not giving Detroit enough fucking credit.
It's just like,
but that's why I pose it. Like, could this be? Could
they pull something off? Yeah, but I'm saying to call them the George Mason to me is not giving them enough respect.
It's not saying they're George Mason in general.
Like Andy Ruiz upset in boxing, like how Andy Ruiz shocked the world. I mean, like this could be that.
But that's what I'm saying. Is I don't think it's that big of an upset. Big as you guys are saying.
I think. Well, I think what Robbie was saying was not that they're George Mason of the NFL. That this matchup against the 49ers kind of makes them a significant underdog. Like they're the fucking
story. It's a Cinderella story.
Like they're Buster Douglas in this situation. You know.
See, that's where we differ because I think this is going to be a 4 to 5 point game at worst. I think they cover.
At worst.
I think they cover. I say they cover.
So you're saying, but no, I know, but you're saying though that like at worst, meaning they could potentially even win this game.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm saying if
a strong chance of it, I should say, because I think it's potential.
I don't think that the 49ers are lucky.
California, if betting was legal in the state of California, I am putting my money that $50 that Robbie's talking about. I'm putting that $50 on them to cover the 7.5.
I don't really shame you for that. I don't think that there's a strong. I think there's a sliver of a chance that they win this game. It's possible, but it's like Lloyd Christmas 1 in a million possible.
See, and that's just where I get what you're saying.
Look, if you're looking for what will probably be the sports Cinderella story of the year. I know that we're very early in the year. We still got, final NBA finals. We got to, get through baseball, so on and so forth. We got a lot of big fights. If you're looking for the Cinderella story, Detroit beating the Niners is it. I still think that the Niners win it. Beard saying that the Niners are lucky to be here. I don't feel that way at all.
No, fuck no. Hell no. Yeah.
Putting down 36 on Niners money line, winning 10. This is how bread is made. I mean, as long as you're coming out net positive, I don't care. I don't care what you do. I think that there's strategies to bet that can net you. That can net you better to where you don't have to play as big of a unit. Yeah. Other than that's our show. I'm going Baltimore Niners.
Mike, you're going. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's sad how predictable that is, but it does seem like it's going to be like that, Oh, except for Mike's take, but we got a homer up here. So
yeah, Mike, you got Chiefs.
I got Chiefs Niners. I got Chiefs Niners straight up. I'm just saying I think Detroit's going to cover.
Okay.
I wonder what the over/under is if they're going to have a betting line for how many people get arrested at the Super Bowl if it's a Detroit versus Baltimore game with the fan base.
If it's a Detroit versus Baltimore game, like holy shit.
Could you imagine if I know it can't happen now? It can't happen now. But could you imagine if it would have been a Detroit Buffalo Super Bowl?
Oh, that would have been also.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That
would have been like I told my buddy this last week. I said, if we lose to Buffalo, I am cheering for a Buffalo-Detroit matchup.
Leafs, I'm not going to give my Super Bowl winning pick just quite yet because there's also that week buffer, between. A lot of things could happen. I want to make sure that I give the most informed pick. I want to make sure that I'm doing right by you guys in that regard. So I won't give who wins Super Bowl pick. Again, anything can happen. This could be. I could very well get one of these games wrong. I could very well get both of these games wrong. We don't fucking know that yet. Sunday we'll answer things. Yes, we will be live Sunday. I fucking promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. I fucking promise.
You guys going live though for the Pro Bowl?
No, I used to do that. No,
I know now it's like fuck no. It's
yeah,
oh god,
no.
hilarious.
Other than that, any final words? I have nothing else to say. I'm just excited for how this turns out. That's what it sounds like when Baltimore shoving that D down the Chiefs' throat.
Yeah, they're gonna have that mouth stuffed with something else.
Oh
god.
Yeah, actually, yeah. These are the biggest games of the season. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. Like, depending on what happens, I wouldn't be shocked if one of these games could turn out being more entertaining than the actual Super Bowl itself.
Yes, this is. I'm excited. I like that we're not seeing. Thank God there's no fucking Tom Brady in one of these goddamn.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I
know it's been a couple years, but still, I still can't get over that luxury we have now.
And then also, really quick, kind of going into the AFC matchup before we get off air, the way that Lamar kind of handled the press, and in regards to going up against Mahomes, both of them giving credit to each other, they're both very much aware of how talented the other is.
Yeah, and what's on the line?
And what's on the line? Yeah, that's gonna make
legacy game. For
it's a I think that I'm more entertained in this rivalry than the Josh Allen Patrick Mahomes rivalry.
It's kind of a lateral step for me, but I don't shame you for that. I get it. And Lamar is certainly a more exciting athlete, I think, to some people than Josh Allen.
Hey, Lamar, do it for the hood. I'm not trying to see the only way. If the Chiefs win, then we need a Chiefs Detroit Super Bowl. We need a Taylor Swift Eminem Super Bowl.
We just don't want. I just want to. Even if we get in, I just don't want to repeat. That's all. I just don't want to see that.
Yo, hey, 2 MVPs, dual jit. Yeah, hey, even a Kodak Black, if Kodak Black gets released, a Kodak Black Eminem Super Bowl would be dope. San Fran, okay, man, we get an E40 appearance. We get a burner appearance.
If it becomes if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, we're gonna have a brand new song and duet between Taylor Swift and Tech 9.
Hey, I'm gonna need you. Hey, really quick though, I'm gonna need you to fucking tell the Chiefs to stop the swag surf BS.
You know who that is, right?
Well, Pacheco's the one who started it. Pacheco's the one who's
it's Willie Gay now.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I know Pacheco was the one who was like, "Hey, play that swag surf real quick." And there's a clip of him, and then that's how it started.
And then Willie Gates sent up a guy to go tell the people up in the press box.
Yeah. Listen, your fan base, a little too paced to be doing that. Taylor Swift doing a swag surf is so cringe.
Hey, we're drinking. What did I drink in Kansas City? We are drinking the Fireball and the Jack to keep us warm when it's freaking -20. I don't give a fuck what they do.
Yo, that shit was cringe, and I like that Boosie was like, "Hey, nah, y'all need to stop." I like that Boosie stepped up and was like, "Taylor, I challenge you to a swag surf off." Hey, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz, the girl, what it do, dilly dilly. We will see y'all Sunday. I love and appreciate all of you. Shot. I'm gonna go try and fix my fucking internet. We outie.
Take care, guys.